know not what we do when we remove ourselves from source.
I would say the voluntary action to not to be yourself is a willingness to be distressed. Yeah, a willingness to not know yourself. So not knowing self, what do we learn in contract is it's a statement of identity and purpose. You don't know the purpose until you know the identity. So yeah, your willingness not to be yourself is your willingness to be and not know what you are and what your function is. That's chaos. There we go. So we're back to square one. Yeah, that's chaos. That's a willingness to be chaotic. A willingness not to love yourself, not to be joined with your brother, not to be joined with your source. It's a willingness not to know. Knowledge is peace. The appearance for value is a willingness not to be at peace. Chaos. Yeah.
Conflict is not knowing.
Yes. Conflict is uncertainty, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, conflict is, why are you in conflict? Is it in your mind, or is it what it appears to be? That your neighbor has more. If it actually, the source of the conflict is your willingness not to be yourself, it's the conflict. You're in conflict with yourself.
It is clearly in the mind, no doubt.
Yes. There's not a war on for your mind, there's a war on in your mind.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, hello, Alex Jones. But, it is quite healing and soothing and gratifying to have these kinds of conversations because they have a tendency to bring source clearer into view. When source is so far away that you can't re-plug in to it, except for an emotional, in an emotional way. And source is not emotional. Source is beyond emotion.
Well, there is, yeah, I think in the fragmentation of our appearance to appear fragmented, then the emotions would be the attachment to the fragmentation. So there is only one emotion. It's love. It's union. It's joining. It's acceptance. So in appearing fragmented from that, each appearance appears to have its own emotional fragmentation. Yeah. I mean, that's the deception. You know what I mean? That you are that you have fallen, that you are little. It's an investment in littleness. It's an investment in smallness. It's to be content with nothing is, of course, the dream. If you content yourself with a dream, if you're content with a dream, you're content. You've proven to yourself that you see the dream's content as valuable. And what we're saying in the conversation is, how could any dream's content, which doesn't actually exist, be valuable?
Wow.
So we're just thinking. I might be totally crazy. I might be wrong. But I know I'm not. I just know in my experience that I'm not. That this heals all. This is a healing. This is a remedy. The remedy is universal. The mistake has a universality to it, in a timeline, universality.
Well, clearly, if we're delving into certain maxims of our own understanding, this is very simplistic. I mean, to get the peacefulness is extremely simplistic, because it starts out with some basic ideas or some basic thoughts that allows one to really have an internal conversation with oneself, such as conflict is not knowing, which is a pretty powerful statement. Short, but powerful. Because if you look back on your life, you'll see that any conflict that you imagined was because you were projecting and not knowing. You were projecting an unwillingness to know.
Well, projection is perception. It is perception. So I'm perceiving myself not as myself. So perception is projection. So again, that point to view from this AI that I've conceived of, this artificial self, as a separate self, then conceives, perceives as not itself. So that point to view is an agreement to be self-deceived. So that is projection. Yeah, perception is projection. So you see yourself as this, and then everything else is not. So that's the conceivance of a fragmented, repetitious pattern.
Yeah, and we can take this whole idea on that one basic premise and place it around different concepts like boxing and martial arts. It's when you are the calmest in the storm are you most effective. It's when you overreact to the conflict is when you exhaust power, accuracy, speed. You sacrifice these things because of the not knowing. If you're looking at an opponent and he appears to be bigger, stronger, you are actually projecting and not knowing because you're assuming all of these things within that adversary. So conflict in your mind has created a bigger adversary than really exists in front of you.
Well, I would clarify it in simplicity. Your perception has projected an adversary. Yeah.
Right.
So you see another. You see another that's not you, and you don't know who you are. So the Sun Tzu, the martial arts, is that you again, that's another ordering system. You remain calm, let him swing there, and then you just break his jaw by going like that. So that's another ordering system from this precept.
Mm-hmm.
So perception is projection. You've projected the enemy. Sun Tzu, the art of war, is that now you want to secure and maintain this. Conversation is saying both the adversary and you are imagined. This is not you. So this is the conversation's message to us is this is not you. There is no adversary. You're willing to appear not as you to see an adversary for the value that you can be derived through the attack.
And vice versa.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's actually a shadow. I mean, shadow boxing. It's a shadow self. The other is actually you also in your mind, and then you're seeing the other as not you. So you're dreaming, and you're dreaming dream figures. You're actually all of them, and in competition with each other. And that's really that's the chaotic nature of the dream. And really the only thing you always, ever wanted, desired, was to remember together the truth about yourselves. Knowledge is peace. So we're seeking peace through an entanglement of conflict.
Wow.
That's why it's futile. That's why the timeline's futile. It always has been futile. It's never been able to give us any value. The specie oath, and you can use specie any way you want to. You can use, specie gold, specie human. Specie oath is to uniformly agree on the value and organize to seek the value of the bauble, the false object outside yourself. So the timeline has always been futile. The ordering systems have always been futile. We dream on for value that maintains that there is a value in an evolutionary ordering system, which is, of course, just a delay of waking.
Just a delay in waking.
Yeah, we're hitting the snooze button. We're saying, no, get your backs into it. Let's try again. Do it again. Begin again. Begin again. Each birth and death in the dream is an attempt to turn the dust into a machinating dust that will find some advantage eventually. And that's really what the New World Order or hidden societies are about, is to maintain an advantage through a hidden nature, not to be attacked, but to be able to attack. So to hide is to attack with impunity. And that's always the goal of the dream figure itself, is to attack his brother, to have more, but to maintain an invulnerability to attack. We don't seek reciprocity of risk. We seek asymmetrical warfare.
Wow.
Asymmetrical warfare is our goal. So how can
Wow.
it be? So how could PEDs be a crime?
Wow.
Yeah. So we seek an advantage in the conflict. So that's always about non-reciprocity of risk. Always. There was a book written called The Future of Just War. And it was about, it was excerpts from different writers about where is warfare going in endless war? Where is it going? And the general thought was that the endless war, funded by insurmountable debt, is that we seek an asymmetrical warfare. In other words, there's no reciprocity of risk. We want to do drones while they are throwing stones. So that's not just war. But
Right.
I was attracted to the book for the title of The Future of Just War.
Wow.
The dream is just war. So as we understand that in the conversation, the dissertation about a future of just war, justified war, would be ridiculous. There is no justification for war. You're dreaming your difference to your brother. Your attack on him is a willingness to maintain that difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what is valuable in this sequence? What source?
Everything always desired has been but to understand the truth about ourselves. We want to know what this is so we know what our purpose is. So that's what the attack is about. I'm attacking you to understand who I am. And of course, that action will maintain the unknowing of what I am in the union, in the conversation. So again, what we're doing in dreaming, what we teach each other in dreaming is to autonomy, self-sufficiency, be strong, defend yourself, martial arts, is to maintain the dream line, the timeline. Our only purpose of dreaming is to maintain the dream. It has no other purpose. It's self-deceiving. It's fragmented and fragmenting. It's made to continue. You made it to continue. You appeared for value, and your only goal in doing so is to appear as not yourself. So what goal can it have but to continue? A self-loathing, a self-attack, a war, or a boot on your face forever. It has no other goal. So yeah, that's the source of the distress. All the contracts, all the ordering systems, all the distress that we feel in different capacities, and like you said, in different emotions in the fragment itself, is fragmented from the love of that one union that is reality, that we've agreed not to be. So that's that's the source of all of our emotions in the dream are from that. What could we weep for but our own innocence? I mean, that's basically a true statement, and that's what the source of the problem is. We seek it. We seek the truth about ourselves in truth. Knowledge is peace. Not to know is conflict, uncertainty, and warfare.
So, do you think Donald Trump will be our next president?
I've got my absentee ballot ready.
Oh, you sound like me.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't vote. It doesn't. I don't. The only reason I would listen to Donald Trump is to forgive him for what I imagined he could do to me. Yeah, I forgive you for what I imagined you could do to me. You can't do anything to me. I forgive you. I don't make the mistake real. You can't do anything to me. I couldn't do anything I can only volunteer to do something to myself, to appear to do something to myself. Donald Trump can't do anything to me. The ordering system, again, it's just the head of the ordering system. We change the head of the ordering system because we want to invest in the ordering system, our own chaotic way to secure this. So Donald Trump can't take us anywhere that we are not willing to go ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah. So I'm in voluntary distress. So Donald Trump can't alleviate that from me. I have to alleviate that from myself. I have to de-invest from the distress. Ding, 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 ding. It's got nothing to do with voting, changing my clothes, changing my hairstyle, changing my diet, changing my friends, changing my location. You are here. On the globe. You are here. You're not. Yeah, you are not here is the axiom of the conversation. You are not here. We appear to be here, and we converse in this appearance. But this is a communication device only. It's an AI. It's like a telephone. The telephone had been programmed to attack my neighbor for value. Now I deprogram this. I reprogram it. I don't really need to reprogram it. I just abstain from the mistake. What I am is right here. Not in this, but in deeper than in this.
Where it's always been.
Yes, in the unified field, yes. In a quantum physics terminologies, we would say we are in the unified field. We're just dreaming of a particle in separation in equal and oppositional conflict. I mean, the dream of particle is conflict. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Newtonian physics. Well, why move at all? That's what the conversation is about. Why move at all? Why wouldn't you think about that? How did you get in that predicament? How did you get into the predicament of being in opposition to your brother forever? How did you get into that predicament?
Wow.
It had to be voluntary. It was. Conflict is not cause. It's not source. It's not God, if you will. It is choice. Adam didn't fall. He jumped. Yeah. We jumped for value. And this is a correction of that jumping.
Wow.
I've been down so goddamn long that it looks like up to me. Well, I've been down so very damn low that it looks like up to me. They want some of you people. Oh, come on, oh, come on, oh, come on.